It's finally here. Just got my copy of Food Science for Garden. This is the 5th book in my garden science series, and it's the one I've been really looking forward to. We came up with this idea 4 years ago. So what is this book all about? Well, it's not a how-to garden book. It's not going to show you how to plant seeds and how to start vegetables. Although there is one chapter on gardening, couldn't resist. Most of the book is about nutrition, nutrient-dense food. What is it? How do we recognize it in our food, both the food you grow and the food you buy? How do you preserve it? How do you cook that food to maintain the nutritional value? The title of the book, Food Science for Gardeners, goes on to say, grow, harvest, and prepare nutrient-dense food. Well, the grow part is not so much how do we actually grow it, but what kind of conditions make nutrient food. For instance, are heirlooms more nutritious than hybrids? How do we harvest the food? When do we pick it? When is the nutrient content at its highest? And now that we have them in the kitchen, what do we do with them? Should we store them in the fridge or on the counter? The way you store this food affects its nutrition. Now, you can't eat everything you grow. You have to preserve some of it. What are the preservation techniques? Freezing and freeze drying, and how do those affect food? How long can you keep food in the freezer and still have nutritious food? And then there are other chapters. The first one discusses what is nutrition. Now, you might think there's a simple answer for that. The general public's understanding of nutritious food is wrong. And most of those headlines you see about nutritious food, they're also wrong. You've heard about vitamins and minerals. Those make up maybe 35 different compounds that are important. But did you know that there are over 5,000 different compounds in food that are important for our nutrition? That has a dramatic impact in our understanding of what is nutritious food. There are also 2 important chapters in the book on safety. One is on chemical safety, and the other is biological safety. So chemical safety deals with things like pesticides, various chemicals that agriculture uses. How does that affect our food? You might have heard about the dirty dozen. These are the 12 fruits and vegetables that are the most toxic because of the pesticides we use in agriculture. Well, how important is that? The book even discusses the problems of plastics and how safe those are to use. And then there's the biological safety. That has to do with pathogens and bacteria and virus. How do we keep those from growing on our food? How do we keep our food healthy? How should we wash our food? Those sorts of things. That's biological safety. So why did I write a book like this? I mean, there's lots of books out there about growing good food. And that's what I noticed. They're all about growing the food. There's very little information out there about growing nutritious food. And a lot of the information that does exist, well, it's wrong. There are more myths about food than there are gardening myths. The other thing I noticed is that there were some good books out there on food science, but they're textbooks. They're designed for students who are studying this as a career. They're not designed for the garden. So I've taken a lot of that information and converted it into a form that makes sense to the homeowner. And that's how the idea for the book started. It's not a textbook. It's not super technical. Everyone can read this book and understand it.